All right. In your journal, I want you to turn to your table of contents. I want you to turn to your table of contents, and we're going to add multiplying decimals, and it's going to be on page 21. So in your journal,
Wait, wasn't it 22?
oh, 22, sorry, you're right. You are right, 22.
We couldn't go to Jack's house yesterday because my mom, since Judith and them are friends again, she had to go to Rock Hill because one of their family members overdosed on the medicine. And so,
All right, on page 22, the first thing that I want to do is I want to talk about our indicator that we talked about yesterday. Okay, so let's look at this right here. Yesterday we talked about what this means, and I told you that we were going to be on this for a few days. So fluently, what does fluently mean?
keep doing it. Or no.
To be able to
Know
keep
it
doing
like
it.
your name.
Knowing it like you know your name, to be able to easily do it. So do you think that we can easily add and subtract decimals after yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
So we can check those off, okay? Does that mean that we're done with those and we're never coming back?
No.
No, okay? Today, we are going to focus on fluently multiplying multi-digit decimal numbers using a standard algorithmic approach. What does algorithmic mean? It's a big word. It's kind of a new word. What does it mean?
Like you, a certain way.
A certain way, a certain set of steps, the old way, the traditional way, okay? It's not something new. It's something that has been done over and over and over, okay? So we are going to multiply multi-digit decimal numbers using the traditional method, okay? So on page 22, at the very top of your page, I want you to write 3-3, Unit 3, Lesson 3. I can fluently multiply multi-digit decimal numbers at the very top. All right, on page 22, we're going to tape in some steps. But we have some people not here today. If you were at home, you could write these steps out. It is a lot of steps, so if you could print, that would be better. But if you can't, you can write them, okay? I want you to tape them in, and then we're going to talk about them. All right, yesterday when we added and subtracted decimal numbers, what did we do to the numbers?
Put them vertically.
We put them vertically. What did we line up?
Or decimal.
We lined up the decimal. Now, after talking with the first class today, they said that you did multiplying decimals in 4th grade with Miss Whitley. How many of you remember doing this with Miss Whitley? A little bit, okay. They said that last year you were starting to do this when we got out for COVID. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this might be something that we really need to work on because you haven't really done it since 4th grade. Okay?
I remember, like, you moved the
We were
decimal.
doing algebra.
Yeah, but you were at a different school.
You were moving the decimal and the whole number over and you had to do the same
Yes.
with the-
So today we are going to practice this a lot, okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to read these to you, and I want you to put your pencil down, and then we're going to practice, okay? So the first step is we line up our numbers. We do not line up the decimal, okay? We do not line up the decimal. You line up your numbers just like you do when you multiply, okay? Step 2, just multiply. You completely ignore the decimals and the numbers. You don't pay attention to the decimals. You just multiply like you normally would, okay? That's something that you've been doing since 4th grade, all right? You've been multiplying multi-digit numbers. Step 3, after you finish multiplying, you count the total number of numbers behind the decimal in your 2 numbers that you are multiplying, okay? Then put the decimal in the product. That means your answer with the same number of decimal places you counted. If you have any empty spaces, you must put a 0. And we'll have something like that that we'll have to do, okay? So on the left side, we're going to start simple. You know, I like to start things a little bit simple. I want you to write 3/10 times 5/10. When we line up our numbers, we're going to line them up vertically, okay? Up and down. We're going to multiply up and down, okay? So I'm going to rewrite this over here so that I have 3/10 times 5/10. Now, this time, right now, my decimals line up, but I did not do that intentionally. You line up your numbers, okay? Now what are we going to do?
Multiply.
Just multiply. Ignore the decimals and just multiply. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to write my 5, carry my 1. 5 times 0 is,
0.
plus 1 is
6.
1. No, 5 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Yep, it's an easy one to make a mistake on. All right, so now is the tricky part. Step 3, count the total number of numbers behind the decimal. So let's count. I have 1, 2. So how many numbers behind the decimal do I have? 2. So I've got to have 1, 2 numbers behind the decimal in my answer, okay? So I'm going to put my decimal right here. And we can put a 0 there as our placeholder for our ones place, okay? Let's try another one. I have 1 and 95 hundredths times 2 and 4/10. I want you to write it horizontally, and then we're going to write it vertically together, okay? All right, I want you to stop for just a second, and I want you to look at me. Now, when we're multiplying 2 numbers, can we switch the order? What property is that called when we change the order? The commutative property. Y'all, I like to put my number with the more digits on the top, okay? Luckily, this one's written that way. But when we are doing some practice problems, they may not all be that way, okay? You may want to switch so that the one with the most digits is on the top. It just makes your multiplication just a little bit easier. So I'm going to put 1, oh, I might need a pen tool. 1 and 95 hundredths is on the top, times. I'm going to line up my numbers. Because I only have 2 digits in the second number, my 4 is going to be underneath my 5. My 2 is going to be underneath my 1. Are my decimals lined up? No, they are not lined up, okay? It doesn't matter, okay? It tells us over here, do not line up your decimal, okay? Line up your numbers. Now what are we going to do? What does step 2 tell us to do? Just multiply. Ignore the decimal. 4 times 5 is 20. I'm going to put my 0 and carry my 2. 4 times 9 is 36. 37, 38. I'm going to write my 8 and carry my 3. 4 times 1 is 4. 5, 6, 7. Okay, I want everybody to pick up your pencil and look at me. Are we finished?
No.
Do I put a decimal here?
No.
No. We have to go to the next row. So I'm going to mark out my carries, mark out my 4 because I'm done with that, and put a 0 down as my placeholder. 2 times 5 is
2 times 5 is
10. I'm going to write my 0 and carry my 1. 2 times 9 is 18, 19. I'll write my 9, carry my 1. 2 times 1 is
2.
Plus 1 is
3.
Now I'm going to add these numbers. So far, have I put a decimal up there? No. 0 plus 0 is 0. 8 plus 0 is 8. 7 plus 9 is 16. Carry my 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Now, what do I need to do?
Add your numbers behind the decimal.
Yep, I've got to count how many numbers I have behind the decimal. I have 1, 2, 3. So how many numbers do I need behind my decimal over here? 3. 1, 2, 3. Does everybody see how we did that? All right, let's try another one. And I'm going to make this one. All right, first of all, is everybody finished copying down this right here? Does anybody need more time with this?
No.
Josh, do you need more time with this? Are you finished with this? Okay. Because I made a mistake and I didn't leave myself enough room for my writing. So in order to keep going for it not to be jumbled, I'm going to have to erase it. Okay? Does that make sense? So is everybody good? Okay. Now, number 3 looks a little bit different. I have 6n, for n equals 6 and 23 hundredths. What is this?
Variable.
That's a variable. When did we do that? We did that in the last chapter, right? So what does it mean when we have 6n times? So I need to do 6 times n. Now what am I going to do for n?
Put a 6.23.
6 and 23 hundredths. So I've got 6 times 6 and 23 hundredths. Can I multiply horizontally like that?
No.
Nope. I need to what?
Put it vertically.
Put them vertically. All right. I want you to multiply that on your paper. Okay? I want you to take a second and multiply that on your paper. How many people got 37, 38? Is that the answer?
No.
No. What do I have to do?
Add up the decimal.
I've got to figure out how many places behind the decimal. 1, 2. So how many? 2. 1, 2. So my answer is 27 and 38 hundredths. Okay? I made that one kind of easy on you because it only has one digit here. But I made it a little more difficult because it was an algebraic expression. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, your friends in the other class were not very happy with me with the next one. And some of y'all probably already flipped the slide so that you can see what we're talking about. And I just heard somebody squeal. All right, so is this an algebraic expression?
No.
Yes, because it has what in it?
Variables.
It's got variables in it.
Exponents.
And it's got exponents. Oh my Lord, what did Miss Bird do here? Okay,
It doesn't look that hard. If you just
Okay.
look at it, it doesn't
So-
look that hard.
I'm going to write it here just to give myself a little bit more room. We've got 5 squared plus, what's the next one? 6 times j
Yes, ma'am.
plus j.
Yes, ma'am.
4j equals what?
Oh, and 2700.
All right, what operation's going on right there with 6 and j?
Times.
So I'm going to put a little multiplication symbol there. Now what do I have to do for all the j's?
Put the
2700s, okay? So I want you to take a second and rewrite this entire problem.
That's 27.
It looks like a lot, doesn't it?
No.
No.
Sort of not.
Okay, on your Unit 2 test, you had a table, okay? How many people remember the table on the bottom of the first page?
Yes.
And it was like this. What did it say? N plus 2 times 4. And the first one said N is 8. Okay? So you put 8 here. Do you know how many people did this?
No.
No! What did they not do?
I can't see it, so. They didn't do the order of
They did not do the order of operations.
No.
They did not do PEMDAS. If you don't do PEMDAS, it's what?
wrong.
It's wrong, okay? So, let's look over here. PEMDAS, do I have any parentheses?
No.
No. Do I have any exponents?
Yes.
Yes, I've got an exponent right here. What does 5 squared mean?
5 2 times.
5 2 times. What is 5 times 5?
25.
25. Now I need to copy everything else down. Do I have parentheses?
No.
Nope. Do I have exponents?
No.
Nope. Do I have multiplication or division? Yes. Where's my multiplication?
6 times 2700.
6 times 2700. Well, I can't do that right there, so I'm going to come over here to the side and I'm going to move Josh so you can see. Over here to the side like this. I want you to multiply that on your paper. How many people got 6 and 62 hundredths? I'm coming. Give me 1 second.
You put a 6 before the decimal.
I put a what?
I put a 6. It's supposed to
Oh, it's supposed to be a 1, isn't it?
be. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, y'all. That's why Bree was looking at me like I was crazy. I told you that one was an easy mistake to make, didn't I?
Yes, ma'am.
My brain must be ready for a Thanksgiving break. Do you think?
Yes. Maybe.
Maybe.
Most definitely.
Like, where did she get 6 from?
Sorry. All right, what are we going to do now? Do we have any parentheses?
No, ma'am.
No. Do we have any exponents?
No.
Nope. Multiplication or division?
Nope.
Nope. Addition or subtraction? Which one do we do first?
Addition.
The first part.
Yep, we go left to right. Okay, do I need to look at me. Let's be smart here. Do I need to write this over on the side? I've got 25 plus 1 and 62 hundredths. What is that? Dustin, tell me. 25 plus 1 is what? 26. And I don't have anything after the decimal here. You could go over there to the side and do it, but you should be able to. All right, now what do I have to do?
Line up the decimals.
I want you to add those. All right, how many people got 26 and 89 hundredths? All right, there is an exit ticket on the last slide, okay? There are some Kahoot games that we can play to help us practice. What is our goal here? We want to become what?
Good at math.
Good at this. What's that F word that we keep?
Frequently.
What is it? What did you write at the top of your paper? I can fluently. What does
Fluently.
fluently means easily, okay? So we want to be able to do this easily, all right? So the exit ticket will tell me how much you remember from our fluent practice today, okay? We're going to get to that in just a second.